Where would you rather be other than Lexington, Kentucky? It's the conference opener for both the Gators and the Wildcats. Last year, 53 weeks ago, Kentucky snapped a 31-game losing streak against Florida. Terry Wilson ran for one score in the third quarter and passed a 54-yard touchdown to Lynn Bowden Jr. The Cats beat Florida 27-16. They did it at the Swamp, and that indeed left a mark. It's been 42 years since Kentucky's beaten Florida twice in a row. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Brian Greasy. I'm Steve Levy. Mark Stoops has a steadfast rule. He doesn't look back to last season or last week. He's making an exception because of this victory a year ago. A 10-win team. Where do they go from here now?
Yeah, 10-3 a year ago. It was a historic year for Mark Stoops and Kentucky. But he said, listen, I didn't come to Kentucky to build a team. I came to build a program. And you have to follow up that historic year this year. We're going to find out a lot about this Kentucky team tonight against a Florida team that has designs on the SEC East.
When Kentucky put their tickets on sale, they sold out one game in advance. Bam, this is the one. We've got McGrath and McShay. That's Todd and Molly down on the field.
Well, Steve, it's hard to believe Kentucky hasn't beaten Florida at home since 1986, and this team has a chip on their shoulder. One of their captains, Logan Stenberg, told me, everyone's focusing on the players we don't have, but we have a lot of talent on this team. We're out here to prove that last year was not a fluke, Todd.
They've got to do it tonight with a backup quarterback. Sawyer Smith is stepping in. He's thrown 9 passes for Kentucky. Terry Wilson was the starter. Now Sawyer Smith comes in. I'll tell you what, I was impressed with how poised he was on tape in those 9 passes we saw, and then how poised he was when we met with this young man. And he's already developed some sort of leadership, which is surprising. He's only been here for 2 months. What a huge spot for Sawyer Smith.
What a spot on a Saturday night. Sawyer Smith, the grad transfer from Troy. And he'll have to wait a little longer to get the football. Kentucky won the toss, and they choose to defer. That's Grant McInnes. Freddie Swain and Tyree Cleveland are back for the Gators. 9th-ranked Florida at 2-0. Kentucky at 2-0. We'll have some fun tonight. And they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. The much maligned Feleipe Franks, full of raw emotion and plenty of talent. What will be on display this evening?
Yeah, he's got to play calm. He's got to calm down. He's an emotional player. We saw the end of the Miami game. He didn't play his best ball in the fourth quarter, and that's really been his Achilles heel. You come into this road and this environment, everybody on Florida is talking revenge, but Feleipe Franks needs to play with a level head tonight.
First down and 10. Out of the 25. LaMichael Pirine, the lone setback. Franks, the pitch to the left. Pirine will make a couple people miss. Gain of 1. Cash Daniel made the stop. Back to Todd McShay.
Talk about the impact players. I mean, you got to look at offensively what Florida wants to do. Michael Pirine is going to be the guy. You see him, number 2. They need to run the football effectively. And Cash Daniel already, he's really the heart and soul of this defense, number 56 at that linebacker position for Kentucky.
Impact players brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Off the play fake. Franks to throw. And overthrew one target, and Trayvon Grimes comes down with it. You tell me if that was his intended target.
I think he threw it in the general direction to either one of those guys, but he was getting hit in the chops, Feleipe Franks was. He got the blitz off the edge, and you take a pick. Don't ever ask for clarification from the quarterback.
It's a gain of 18. That's what you need to know.
Go.
Pirine picking and choosing, approaching midfield. DeAndre Square makes his second stop of the game after a game of 4.
So Todd mentioned that Florida needs to run the football. They haven't been very good up front. That's been the problem for Dan Mullen. This is an offensive line that is green at best. They got abused by the Miami Hurricanes in the first game. But I agree with Mullen. Their best players are their outside wide receivers. So they got to get the football to those guys in their hands.
Right now, all the way outside, split out top of your screen. That's the back, LaMichael Pirine. Cats rush for some pressure. It's caught. Kyle Pitts, the tight end, for 15 and a first down.
Feleipe Franks, when he's comfortable in the pocket and has a room to throw, he's very good throwing the ball downfield. Look at this. It's great anticipation, getting that ball out under pressure. It's good throw and catch.
All sorts of protection. Now Franks off his back foot towards the end zone. It's intercepted. Tyrell Agin on the return for Kentucky. Franks threw it up for grabs, and Agin brought it down.
There's a fine line between making a play as a quarterback and making a mistake. And Feleipe Franks, he's going to get in a situation where he's got time. He's looking around. Okay, extend the play. Now, in this situation right here, you got to be smart, right? Here comes a safety. He's going to come over just playing Feleipe Franks. And Agin plays out like a punt. Now, that's giving up 3 points, Todd.
Yeah, and what we've talked about, Brian, as we've studied him, physically he has everything. He has a huge arm. He's mobile, but mentally he's just got to become a better decision maker. Not a great start, obviously, for Franks.
Off the quick change, Sawyer Smith wants people to know he can run with the football. And he takes off, gain of 4.
Well, a good situation for Sawyer Smith to step into after a turnover, kind of settle the nerves. Okay, we got the ball in good field position. We're talking with him yesterday. He said, you know, I think everybody's going to think that I can't run, so he is going to pull the ball in zone reads tonight.
That's Bowden in motion. He's got the football. Lynn Bowden Jr. very close to the marker. Be about a 3rd down and 1. I know you're checking your program guide. Lynn Bowden traditionally wears uniform number 1. He is sporting the number 3 of his fallen starting quarterback Terry Wilson tonight.
It'll be interesting to see the energy level of Kentucky in this offense early, right? Their leader, unquestioned leader, there he is, Terry Wilson. That was emotional when he went down last week. They managed to pull that win out, obviously, but an emotional
fumble snap. Smith trying to jump on it. That ball is still loose, and Florida says they have it. Let's see. Wow. How did the Gators come away with that one?
You talk about mistakes of quarterbacks, right? An interception, obviously, by Frank's mistake. This one didn't look like Sawyer Smith was ready for that snap. He turned his head trying to hand it off, and right there, you just got to pounce on it. Fall down on it. Don't try to pick it up and make a play. Just get on the football and secure it. Mistake by the young quarterback.
Brad Stewart able to jump on it for Florida. Stewart had missed suspension for the first 2 games of the season for not living up to that Gator standard. He's back in the lineup tonight and makes a big play recovering the fumble. And so we trade turnovers 3.5 minutes into the game. At the Kentucky 31, Pirine. Patient runner. Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and 7.
Here's Agin right here. You're going to see this is the interception. Excuse me. Agin is back now, 23 in the middle of the field. You're trying to make a play, Right here, you throw it out of bounds. You know, you just can't heave one down there like a Hail Mary on the first drive of the game.
Second and 7. It's Pirine to his left. Maybe one. DeAndre Square off to a big start for Kentucky. He, along with Cash Daniel, the heart and soul of that Wildcats defense.
And then they get support from the defensive line. You know, talking with Mark Stoops last night, he said the strength of our team is this defensive front 7. We need to rely on them early in this game, and they've been put in a difficult position after the turnover.
3rd and 6. That's the back P-Ryan top of your screen. 3 receivers to the bottom. And Franks wants to run for it. Squirts through there somehow and gets the first down. Making something out of nothing. Brandon Eccles finally got him, but not until the 9-yard pickup.
Nice block by the right guard, Blige. 67 right there on the linebacker, and that frees up Feleipe Franks at 240 pounds. Why not run him 10 or 12 times in a game, especially in critical 3rd down and short situations?
P-Ryan has not been able to find any daylight. DeAndre Square, already his 5th tackle. 2nd and goal from the 15. Franks to throw for it. Got a man wide open. It's caught. Touchdown. Freddie Swain, 15 yards in the score, and the Gators make it look easy there.
You lose some veteran in the secondary in Corker, and right off the bat, Dan Mullen is going to come, and he's going to challenge. It's just a wheel route here to the outside. You see that the corner goes with him. Nobody goes with Swain to the corner of the end zone. A breakdown in that secondary for Kentucky, and an easy touchdown for Franks.
That'll take some air out of the building. 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Evan McPherson is on for the extra point and puts it through. Nissan Heisman House Tour in Lexington this week. Fans have had the opportunity to meet ESPN personalities and former college football greats like Andrew Woodson, Kentucky, and Tim Couch, former #1 pick overall to the Cleveland Browns. Lynn Bowden from the 3. Spins around, and he's out to the 21-yard line. First down and 15. On the ground to A.J. Rose, and he's swung back. Forward progress to give us 2 yards. Down to Molly.
Well, Steve, Sawyer Smith taking all the blame and showing frustration on the sideline after that fumbled snap, but Terry Wilson stood by his side to calm him down. Wilson told me he wasn't even supposed to be on the sideline, but insisted, saying, I need to be there for Sawyer, especially early in the game so he can get into a groove, but said he won't be down here in the second half because he said once Sawyer gets into a groove, he's really hard to stop, Steve.
Watch for that. After the marker, 2nd and 13. Sawyer pressure, didn't feel it, and he is sacked, and the football comes out. And this time Sawyer Smith able to recover the fumble. Jonathan Grenard came off the edge untouched.
If you're going to block one player for Florida, you better block number 58. He's new to this team, but he is not new to sacking quarterbacks. He is an outstanding football player and probably the best pass rusher on this Florida team. And Sawyer Smith's lucky he didn't drop that football.
A couple of years ago, 15.5 sacks to lead the team. Last season, hurt his wrist on the first defensive series of the season at Louisville. So you know he has that potential. How about 3rd and 21, Doctor? What do you got here? Florida just rushing 3. Sawyer Smith will loft one, and it is caught for the first down. Ahmad Wagner for 24. They needed 21. He gets 24. Wow, that's the play call.
Well, no, this is Sawyer Smith after fumbling the ball twice already in this game, not buckling under pressure. That's a big-time throw in between 3 Florida defenders for the first down.
Sawyer Smith, 3 for 3, 38 yards. Don't let the 2 fumbles fool you. Up high to Ali. Here's Josh Ali making people miss. Inside the 40, and the football comes out. Sean Davis made the stop. Dan Mullen's going wild, thinking that was a fumble. It's a gain of 18.
Yeah, he thinks there was a fumble. Let's take another look. Ali gets hit. No, that's the right call. That forearm was down. That was not a fumble. Great play call there. Love that play call. You get the 3rd down completion, get a first down, and you keep Florida on their heels defensively by calling a little slip screen. That's Eddie Grand, their offensive coordinator. He's been successful in getting his quarterback into a rhythm, and now he's challenging Florida.
They've completely abandoned the running game. It's Bowden off the pass play. Put him in a 2nd and short scenario, gain of 7. Good-looking drive by the Cats. Ninth play of the drive upcoming. Way back when, it was a 3rd and 21 from their own 10-yard line. Now they go to the run. A.J. Rose trying to push the pile very, very close. And he will have first down yardage. The forward progress gets him there. As we hit the final minute, quarter number 1.
It's interesting watching Kentucky operate. You know, you had a lot of questions without Terry Wilson. What is this offense going to look like? Last year it was run heavy with Benny Snell, Terry Wilson. And now with a different quarterback, you see the adjustment that Eddie Grant and Mark Stoops are making. They're throwing the football more to open up the run game. A complete 180 from what they've been the last year.
That's Bowden in motion. Don't give it to him. It's Rose instead. Stumbles forward for a yard. And the clock will wind.
I think it's important also to mention that this Florida defense not playing with their best defender in C.J. Henderson, the corner. So it makes sense for Kentucky to come out and challenge this secondary. You know they're stout up front with Florida front 7, but they're down their best player in the secondary.
The two schools with the longest active winning streaks in the SEC, Florida and Kentucky. 1 quarter complete. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay, and Molly McGrath as we open up quarter number 2. And the Wildcats are on the move. 2nd and 9 at the Florida 26. The Wildcats run some Wildcat. And Bowden will keep it and try to turn the edge. And David Reese wasn't falling for that. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 9.
I understand you want to get the ball in your best player's hands, and that's Bowden. So you're going to get him a couple 5-6 rushes out of the Wildcat. But the horizontal run game against this Florida defense is not going to work because they're just too fast, too athletic, sideline to sideline.
Smith has been perfect. 12th play of this drive coming up. That started from their own 10 after a penalty. Here's some Florida pressure. Smith gets it away. Ahmad Wagner couldn't pull it down. There's a penalty marker. Touchdown. I beg your pardon. Juggling, caught. Unbelievable. They'll take a closer look.
It looked like that ball hit the ground and came back up to him.
And even if it doesn't stand, what an effort.
Well, and it's a flag too, right? At the worst case scenario for Kentucky, this will be a 1st down. You see Marco Wilson had his hand all on his face mask. Now that ball moved a little bit. To me, it looked like it moved a little bit when he came down on the ground and helped him to complete that catch. Wow. Calipari might want to get Wagner signed up. I don't think he has a talent shortage.
Chance poor for the extra point.
And a big-time throw right from Sawyer Smith. There's the hoop team. Those guys couldn't have done that any better. But what a job by Sawyer Smith. Identified the man-to-man coverage on Marco Wilson and knew he had the matchup with the 6'5" receiver out there. Gave him an opportunity, a chance, and it paid off.
You know Coach Cal is very well aware. Before playing football for the Wildcats, Ahmad Wagner spent 3 seasons hooping it up for Iowa. Earned the team's most improved player, the inaugural Kenny Arnold Hawkeye Spirit Award as a sophomore. The Kentucky basketball team is in the house on the left, and Wagner is enjoying it after making what was a circus catch in the end zone for a touchdown and getting us to 7-7.
I think he made the right choice.
That's my takeaway.
Saw that, yep.
Cross the middle and complete. Van Jefferson hits the sheet It's a gain of 32.
A big-time answer from Feleipe Franks. Kentucky comes out on offense and ties this game, and Feleipe Franks gives Van Jefferson an opportunity on the post route over the top of Jamari Brown. Well done.
Now the pressure. Can't get out of there. Football is loose, and Blue jumps on it. It's Taj Dotson. Dotson, the replacement for the ejected Yusef Corker, the true freshman from Union City, Georgia, hops on the football, and Kentucky's got it.
Huge turnover for Kentucky. Great rush from the edge. That ball is definitely out. You can see the arm was coming forward, but the ball went backward, which tells you that the ball was out before Feleipe Franks was coming forward. And Franks was a little bit ginger coming up there, too. He walked off the field. Might be an even bigger loss for Florida. Looks like he's all right.
I think that's the fourth fumble of the game. It's definitely the third turnover of the game. And now we'll see what Kentucky can do with it. From their own 46 in a 7-7 game. On the ground, Cavassier Smoke, his first carry, gain of 5 on the play.
This is an opportunity for Kentucky on the offensive side to really take control of this game. You know, their offensive line has been the strength of their team. Logan Stenberg, the left guard, Drake Jackson, the center, those two guys coming back. Landon Young, the left tackle, was hurt a year ago, but he was going to be the starter. So that left three on that offensive line, they need to lean on them if they're going to win this football game.
2nd down and 5. Sawyer Smith loads up and completes. Justin Rigg, the tight end. And Sawyer Smith is getting on that roll that Terry Wilson pointed out. When he gets hot, here he is. Yep. Grease, that last touchdown drive, Kentucky converted 3rd and 21, 3rd and 8, and 3rd and 9 to keep that going.
And it was big-time throws from Sawyer Smith, having protection in the pocket. You know, we watched Florida's defense annihilate Miami's offense, but this offensive line has protected him in this game.
I'll let you know when Sawyer Smith misses one. Here's Smoke trying the right side on 1st down. It's a gain of 5 on the play. Cavassier Smoke. Cavassier is his first name. He prefers to just go by Smoke. I don't think he has an issue actually with the name. His issue is that people can't pronounce it correctly.
Let's just stick with Smoke.
When
right?
they announced him in the stadium on the public address, they just say Smoke.
Surprised you didn't go with the where there's smoke.
Come on, Grease. That's for other guys to do. I'm way beyond that. Smoke behind the left guard.
What's better than Smoke as a name?
Oh, man.
It's a 1st down. Got enough.
Kentucky staying ahead of the down and distance, right? They're throwing the ball on 1st down and 2nd down. They're running it on 3rd and short situations, getting 1st down. They are. Eddie Grant is calling a great game, and Todd Grantham now, the well-heralded defensive coordinator. His head coach called him the best coordinator in the land. He's got to make the adjustment.
Sawyer Smith complete, and there's yards after the catch. It's Drew Schlegel, the senior, tight end for a gain of 12.
We mentioned no C.J. Henderson at corner tonight for the Gators. He's hurt. Marco Wilson, number 3, has got to step up. He gave up the touchdown to Ahmad Wagner. It was a penalty even if he didn't catch it, and now he just missed that tackle for another 1st down.
And Brian, it's been interesting to watch. They've been rotating. Florida has their defensive backs every 3 or 4 plays, so clearly they're trying to find the right rotation in the right group.
Yeah, Todd, they got 3 true freshmen on the other side.
Smoke got some running room. Cavassier Smoke down to the goal line. He's going to be shy of the marker, I think.
What a block by Logan Stenberg into the left guard. This is the definition of pancake. I mean, he just completely destroys the defensive end and opens up that hole for Smoke. Wow. 322 pounds. He's a man. That's an NFL guard right there.
And he's nasty and he talks trash. He'll let you hear about it. Second down and goal. Under center was Smith. Touchdown. Touchdown, Kentucky.
I think Terry Wilson can go up to the press box now. I think Sawyer Smith's in the ball game.
7:46 to go. The extra point is on the way and good.
We talked about the best part of this Kentucky team was that offensive line. Jackson, Stenberg. Take a look. You want to play on the goal line, Lee? You got to stick your head in there and push into the end zone. That's as good as you can do it.
Again, it's been 42 years if you want to look ahead. The last time Kentucky beat Florida in consecutive games. Franks pulls it down. Some late pressure coming. Franks improvising and completing all sorts of time. Trayvon Grimes coming back to make a play for his quarterback. Gain of 32.
You know, Feleipe Franks made a poor decision early in the game in the same situation. He didn't let it get him down. Keep your eyes downfield, and you see Grimes open up, wide open in the middle of the field. It's a nice job.
At the Kentucky 31, 6 minutes to go in the half. Franks to throw out to the right, some blocking in front of Freddie Swain, and he's very close to the marker. We've had one incomplete pass in the whole game to this point. Pirine, top of your screen. Some pressure up the middle, trying to set it up.
That should be grounding.
We'll see if a flag comes out.
That should be intentional grounding. I mean, he's in the pocket, and he threw that ball to nobody. I'm surprised that crew missed that.
Calvin Taylor had the pressure.
It almost looked like he was throwing a screen, but there's nobody in the area. There's a tight end, but the tight end runs down the field. Right? There's nobody there.
Definitely in the tackle box.
That's grounding.
3rd down and 10. Gators catch a break. Late pressure comes. Franks takes a hit and completes. Able to complete to Kyle Pitts. That was a tough throw and catch. Gain of 12 on the play.
Big time throw and catch because he had to let it go before the receiver comes out of the break. Look at where he's throwing it. He hasn't even turned around yet. And Feleipe Franks under pressure gives him an opportunity and a huge conversion on 3rd down.
Took a little shot from Boogie Watson. Moved the sticks.
Great composure from Franks, right? Runs in for a touchdown, gets a hold, gets away with one on the intentional grounding, but makes him pay on 3rd down.
Franks looks to keep it. Taking on some people. He took a shot after the gain of 2.
Oof, man.
2nd down upcoming.
Those are not the kind of shots you want your starting quarterback taking, and Feleipe Franks needs to protect himself too. You get in that mesh area as a quarterback and you get guys around your legs and then you start taking a couple shots.
And you're sort of standing up tall at that spot. That's where you can really get cleaned up. 9th play of the drive upcoming. Pirine. Pirine has found no running room. Boogie Watson again on the stop. I got Pirine at 8 carries, for 12 yards. Quick math, that's about a yard .2 per carry. 1.5. Right around there, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, you get the idea. I was told there'd be no math.
Most third downs, Mark Stoops and Brad White have decided to bring pressure on Feleipe Franks. See if they decide to change it up and play a little more defense, because they've had struggles on third down.
From our Xfinity Skycam on 3rd and 8. P-Rod out of the backfield. Not going to get enough. Needed 8, got 6. DeAndre Square saw to that. And it's 4th down.
That was a big-time tackle there by DeAndre Square. That saved him 4 points, potentially. He doesn't get P-Ryan on the ground, and he could have walked into the end zone. It's a big play by the sophomore.
Evan McPherson on. 27-yard field goal attempt. Not even close. From 27. Way right. Keeps it at 14-7 time.
And you see the leader of this defense, Cash Daniel, moving everyone from that defensive front over right in the spot where the kicker is looking. Huge job by the leader of this group.
A rather interesting first half on a steamy night in Lexington, Kentucky. 14-7. Wildcats. 14 unanswered by Kentucky. And again, they will get the second half kickoff. What a story Sawyer Smith has been in this one. 10 of 13. All 3 incompletions coming on that last drive. 128 yards passing and the 1 touchdown. Down to Molly.
Thank you, Steve. Coach, what does your offense need to do to be more effective?
I think we're doing okay. I mean, we had one guy go the wrong way, and we fumble sack. You know, we had a guy uncovered down the field, would have been a touchdown. Then we got a penalty. We're about to score, and we end up with another penalty down here. That the same guy actually. So that one guy, we got to get that cleaned up. Young players, got to get that fixed up.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
Steve.
Dan Mullen doesn't seem all that bothered.
Easy fix.
Easy fix.
We'll
tried that after the second game of last season, too. Say it to Matt Barry, Joey Galloway, Jesse Palmer. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN, presented by Hendon, by Hilton. Highly anticipated matchup in the SEC between Kentucky and Florida. Sees the Wildcats up 14-7 as we get ready to open up the third quarter. A very pleasant Saturday night to you all, wherever you are watching us. Steve Levy along with Brian Greasy, Todd McShay, Molly McGrath down on the field shortly. So, Sawyer Smith, we thought he might be a good story, but we didn't know. 5-2 as a starter at Troy. This is the SEC, and against that fast Florida defense, hit his first 9 passes.
I think everybody in the Commonwealth was wondering, what Sawyer Smith was going to bring to the table. No Terry Wilson, no problem in the first half for Sawyer Smith.
See the numbers, those 3 incompletions coming on that final drive of the first half. And Kentucky will get the football to open up the second half. Lynn Bowden is back deep. He was wearing uniform number 3 in the first half. Out of respect to his starting quarterback, Terry Wilson, he's back now to his own uniform, number 1 for half, number 2. On first down and 10, A.J. Rose is taken down by Ventrell Miller after a gain of 1.
I think what's interesting, what Molly is saying there, with respect to Sawyer Smith and this offense in particular, for the past year with Terry Wilson at quarterback, it was a run heavy, run first, don't make mistakes, don't turn the football over, and play good defense. And now, because of the unfortunate injury to Terry Wilson and Sawyer Smith's talent throwing the football, they're going to have to change offensively, and maybe for the better.
Smith looking right and throwing to the right. Able to complete to Allen Daly. Going to be just short of the marker. Daly off his first career start. He makes the grab. Sawyer Smith last year, took over the starting job 7 games into the season at Troy after Caleb Barker went down with a knee injury. And again, went on to go 5-2 as a starter. He was the MVP of the Dollar General Bowl, leading Troy to a 42-32 victory over University of Buffalo.
But you look at those numbers, right? He completed his first 9 passes. I mean, this is can't say enough about the performance tonight.
On the ground, and he'll force his way through. So he comes out in relief, Grease, a week ago. The very first pass play, the coaching staff told us he could have punted it to the tight end. I mean, that's how wide open the tight end is. And instead, Smith shook it off, went 54 yards down the field to Ahmad Wagner, and everybody had big smiles on their face.
Well, I guess
punted it to the tight end.
If the head coach says at halftime, be more aggressive, I think you're going to see it here in the second half.
I mean, if he was confident coming in, based on that first half, off the play fake. He'll take a shot. Justin Rigg dropped it right over the linebacker, David Reese, and into the hands of Rigg. That's a fine throw.
Great throw, but it's a better block by his halfback, A.J. Rose. Take a look here. He's going to come and chop down Grenard. You got to fake this and then get that guy on the ground. That is as good as you can do it. And trust me, when you watch the film tomorrow, you're going to get a big thank you from Sawyer Smith.
And watch Sawyer Smith's feet on that, too. He saw the protection was going to be there. He just backed up a little bit, but still stepped into that throw and layered it in perfectly.
Rose has some size. 6'1", 210 from Cleveland. Now reward him with a carry. It'll stumble forward for about 3. And it'll be 3rd down upcoming.
I think, Todd, that might have been a little bit of ignorance there on the part of Sawyer Smith. I don't know if I would have trusted my halfback to block the defensive end. I wouldn't have had that much faith.
But at least he knew he had to step back a couple yards.
They stuck his head in there. 2nd down and 6 upcoming. That's Bowden. Fake the flip, and Smith will run for a couple more. 3rd and 4 upcoming.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that design when Terry Wilson was still the quarterback. You know, a lot of the quarterback run. They still want to have parts of that in this system, but they're doing this, as you can see, against a very formidable defensive front. And looking at the replay on the Jumbotron here in the stadium, it looked like they thought, the fans did, there was a targeting call on Sawyer Smith on that last play.
They snap it, no buzz down. And on the ground, A.J. Rose inside the 15. It's a gain of 21.
Drake Jackson is continuing to own the line of scrimmage from his center position. Coming up onto the 2nd level, there he is, 52. He gets the linebacker, and Rose smartly follows right behind him.
Kentucky is already 7 of 9 tonight on 3rd down conversions. A season ago in the swamp, in the game everybody's still pointing to, they were 9 of 13 on 3rd down.
And the reason
that might have been your ball game.
The reason they were so good is because they were good on 1st and 2nd down. They weren't in 3rd and long situations.
Little middle screen to Rigg, the tight end. Gets 6 back. Jonathan Grenard made the stop.
Well, you get the sense that the Gators defense has come out here and they've taken some shots on this first drive, but if they can keep Kentucky out of the end zone, at least force a field goal attempt, to be a huge win for them. But Kentucky looks like they're in control of the line of scrimmage.
Good protection. Now it runs out. Sort of shoveled it underhand, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Gators. And it's Sean Davis to the 30, and Davis gallops down to the 10. Sawyer Smith ran down the field to stop a touchdown. Ill-advised throw. and motion by Smith, and then he recovers. It's a 72-yard return on the interception. Wow.
Mark Stoops wanted him to be more aggressive, but he also got to be smart in these situations. They're trying to make a play. You can see where he's trying to go with that ball. He's trying to throw it right here, but he doesn't see Sean Davis behind. Makes a huge play for his defense and keeps him out of the end zone. And you mentioned a great effort from Sawyer Smith to make the tackle, save a touchdown.
That is remarkable. And they're attending to Smith's wrist right now. Gators trying to go fast. Piron top of your screen. Under 10 to go in the third. Florida trailing by a touchdown. Feleipe Franks the pump. Gets some pressure, takes a shot, he'll throw it away. Boogie Watson on the pressure.
Keep an eye on Sawyer Smith. You're right, he was holding that right wrist. He looks to be all right. And there's Terry Wilson right there next to him, still down on the sideline. What a great shot at Terry Wilson, right? Still engaged, still involved. Terrible injury that he suffered, and still down there for his teammate.
I think Wilson will come back strong. Hope to get him back doing some work in the spring. Here's Franks. Good protection. Underneath crossing of Van Jefferson. A flag comes in as Jefferson got close to the first down marker.
We're going to call pass interference here on the offense. They were trying to throw a screen. It's basically a screen. But the receivers on the outside were blocking before the ball was thrown.
Instead of a 3rd and 1 for Florida at the Kentucky 12, it's 2nd and 25 at the 36. That's a huge turn of events.
But it's the right call. Good for them for getting it right.
Setting up Pirine on the screen with a blocker in front of him. The blocker didn't matter. Brandon Eccles with an excellent individual tackle to keep that from being a big game.
That's as good a tackle as you're going to see in college football. Brandon Eccles goes 5'11", 174 pounds. Look at him take on the tackle foresight and still get Pirine on the ground. That's as good as you can do it.
That's got to bother an offensive lineman, right? You're like, you're thinking, there's one little guy in front of me. I got this.
Small but slippery.
3rd and 17 after the gain of 8. Wildcats rush 4. Pressure. Franks escapes for now. He'll tuck it and run. To the 15. Boogie Watson made sure he didn't get the first down yardage, gain of 13 on the play. Needed 17, got 13. And it's a 4th down.
Great job by Kentucky defensively. Sticking with their receivers as Feleipe Franks has been extending plays. He's done it a number of times in this game, but they plastered to the receivers and forced him to tuck the ball and run.
McPherson, remember, missed from 27. This is from 32. On the way. And that'll settle things down. Florida drive that started back at their 21-yard line results in a field goal. Every September, Keeneland Horse has its yearling sale. They bring in millions of dollars from buyers looking for the next Triple Crown champion. I got $1 million, I got a $2 million, I got a $3 million, I got a $4 million.
We should have gone over there.
Yeah, we should have.
You know, between the 3-4 of us, we could have pooled our money and got a thoroughbred, no?
There's a lot of money in this town in general, but especially every September for the yearling sale.
When you fly in, it's all horse farms.
And private airplanes. First down and 10. Here's Cavassier smoke. Here's Molly McGrath.
Well, Steve, you saw Sawyer Smith grabbing his right wrist after that last drive. When he was opening and closing his right hand, he was in visible pain. And then he practiced throwing a ball to a teammate. He said, I'm fine, but he grimaced a couple times during his throws, so it's definitely bothering him, Steve.
Yeah, it looked like when he made that tackle, the defensive back came down on his arm, so keep an eye on that.
Quick throw out to the right, completes to Bowden, making some people miss. The approach is midfield. Brad Stewart brought him down. after a gain of 9. How Sawyer Smith got back in that play, Grease, to make the stop on what would have been a touchdown. He was out of the play. He was along the sideline. And great effort to get back in it, and really it leads to a 10-point swing.
I tell you, when you make a mistake like he made, you know, you want to atone for it and give him credit. He got up off the mat, made the tackle, and it turned out to force a field goal.
2nd and 1. Keep it on the ground. Smoke has the first down. No big run so far for Cavassier Smoke. He's the first Kentucky player since 1946, they go back to those statistics, to have touchdown runs of 32 or more yards in each of the first 2 games.
Where is this Florida defense? Right, like Kentucky is controlling the line of scrimmage. They're doing whatever they want to do, throwing it and running it. And this heralded Florida defense, they got to show up.
Smith had a man wide open. Bowden probably could have brought it down, but Smith made it harder than it had to be. You wonder if the wrist had an impact on that throw.
Maybe. Right, that's as easy a throw as you're going to have. Sometimes the ball comes out. See how that ball is? It's not a tight spiral. It doesn't look like it's coming out as good as it did in the first half.
Walker Wood is listed as the backup quarterback, but we know Bowden can throw the ball as well. 1st down and 10, just across midfield. Watch for this throw. A little tighter spiral, and it's caught. Ahmad Wagner in a 50-50 ball battle with Marco Wilson. Wagner wins it, and the flag comes in late. It's a gain of 20. We'll check the penalty marker. Well, that ball was a little better. 14-10, Kentucky. We've had our 2nd targeting penalty and ejection of the night. The latest to Donovan Steiner. The junior out of Houston, 13 in white, comes over late. Clearly lowers the helmet into the chest of Ahmad Wagner. And he has been ejected from the game. Earlier tonight, Yusuf Corker of Kentucky was ejected. And again, these things will add up. That's the first of the season for both. You get 3, it's an automatic suspension, and now Florida is without their critical pass rusher here.
Yeah, Zuniga on the sideline, so 2 of their starters for this Florida defense not on the field in this red zone situation.
This is similar to the area where Smith threw the interception the last time down the field. Up 4, looking for more. Smith lofts one, back shoulder, it is caught. Touchdown! Keaton Upshaw beats Brad Stewart for the score.
We have seen time and time again Sawyer Smith giving his bigger receivers jump ball chances down the field. He's done it numerous times with Ahmad Wagner. This time he throws it to the 6'6" Keaton Upshaw, matched up on the 6-foot-tall Brad Stewart. It was a mismatch.
And Poor boots it through. 124 consecutive extra points by Kentucky kickers. So with 5:39 left here in the 3rd quarter, the Wildcats open up a 21-10 lead. Out to prove to everyone, last year in the swamp was not a fluke. Kentucky wants to be considered among the upper echelon in the SEC. It was last year after Kentucky snapped that 31-game losing streak to Florida. Mark Stoops awarded the game ball to his offensive line coach, John Schlarman. Stoops said, "I awarded it to Coach Schlarman for the way our offensive line and tight ends blocked. We rushed for over 300 yards." And then he went on to say, "John's going through a lot. It was great to award him the ball." Florida back with it. Franks through the hands of Malik Davis. And this crowd is getting loud, trying to protect the 21-10 lead And the amazing thing about Schlarman is his enthusiasm. And there you see Pascal, as if on cue, making a big hit. Franks throwing, incomplete. It was behind Tyree Cleveland, and he couldn't haul it in. Molly.
Well, Steve, offensive lineman for Kentucky, Logan Stenberg, told me that win over Florida is something he'll take pride in for the rest of his life because they were able to get the win for Coach Schlarman. He said they were inspired by his fight, and they used that as motivation. He said they didn't want the win for themselves. They unselfishly wanted it for their coach, that shows great maturity and perspective from these players.
Three to snap it. Just get it away in time. Franks, pressure all around him. Able to throw. Incomplete. Freddie Swain. The flag comes in. Two Uckers. There's one in the backfield, and they just picked up one at the 40.
There are two fouls on the play, both by the defense. Holding, number 3, is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 15 is accepted. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Jordan Wright for roughing the passer.
You had a situation there. The crowd is now into the game. It's 3rd down and long, and Feleipe Franks. Everybody said all these kinds of things about him. Those are the kinds of plays in crunch time when the crowd is against you. When you need a play, you stand in there, take a hit, deliver a perfect ball down the field for a huge first down and the penalty, which is now going to put him across midfield. Big time play there by 13.
You see Cleveland still getting a signal or signaling back to the sideline. Now set. Just across midfield. Damian Pierce. Franks tucked it into his belly late. Pascal on the stop after the gain of 4. No happy ending yet for John Schlarman. He is starting a new treatment shortly here at the University of Kentucky. That's good news, but it sounds like he's still got a long road ahead of him. Josh Pascal has finished his last treatment, we hope. And when they say you're not cancer-free until you have 5 years of clean scans. And we're thinking about both of those gentlemen, both on the field and on the Kentucky sideline here tonight. To learn more about how you can support cancer research, visit the V Foundation at v.org.
Really cool. These guys both have affected this game. In particular, we saw Pascal making plays, and you could argue that the most valuable unit on Kentucky's team so far in this game has been their offensive line, coached by John Schlarman.
3rd down and 2. Franks tucks it, won't get there. Took a big shoulder. Cash Daniel fired up in the middle. 4th down.
I think Dan Mullen's going to go for it here. He's down 11, realizing that there's not as many possessions left in this football game. With the way Kentucky's been playing offensively and controlling the line of scrimmage, I think this is the right call for Mullen to go for it on 4th and 1.
Now Florida has converted 5 of 6 4th down attempts so far this young season. Gonna throw for it. Franks from behind. He's bent over backwards by Calvin Taylor. Lucky to hang on to the football. And the Gators turn it over on downs. And Franks is hurt in obvious pain. You could see he got bent over backwards. How he hung on to the football is amazing.
Oh boy, yeah, that was really ugly the way that he went down. They're looking at his lower extremity, looking at his ankle. You got to commend him for the effort to try to get that first down. He put his body in harm's way, fighting and scratching to try to get that. Knew how big of a play that was, and it does not look good for Feleipe Franks.
You heard the groan in the background. They just showed the play.
Yeah, he's in
on the jumbo scoreboard.
Oh, man, they're getting the cast out. Yeah, that's.
All right, Matt, these are live pictures now. You ever question how popular Feleipe Franks is with his teammates? I mean, that's the entire sideline for Florida on the field to wish their quarterback and leader well. We are not going to show you the replay of what took place. Calvin Taylor, the 6'9", 310-pounder for Kentucky, rolled up upon the ankle of Feleipe Franks. Yeah. And let's just say it didn't look good.
No, he dislocated his ankle, right? And like we've seen that before with other players, and it's such a painful situation for Feleipe Franks. But it looks like his season is over.
Pitch. Rose turns the corner.
You know, Todd, that's a great point, because I think what Todd Grantham is saying over there on the sideline is, listen, when I play man-to-man, they're throwing the ball to Ahmad Wagner or to the tight ends. They've gotten touchdowns off that, so he doesn't feel good about playing man, and he's gotten out of his rhythm and his play calling as an aggressive defensive coordinator.
This Florida defense, 10 sacks against Miami in that Week 0 game. They've got 14 players who have been involved in the 15 sacks coming in. Tonight they have a whole 1 sack on Sawyer Smith. That's Rose. He's going to be short. David Reese made sure of that. Last season it took the Gators 5 games to get to those 15 sacks. But they have not had much pressure on Sawyer Smith tonight.
Well, I think we're seeing really how poor Miami Hurricanes offensive line was, right? And this is a legit offensive line. Now, Todd, you went out on a limb and said this was the best offensive line in the SEC, and you gave him a hard time.
Yeah.
Are you going to give him an apology now?
Please.
No, there's no apology.
Of course not.
Check back in Week 6, Week 7, Week 8. You've heard that before. 3rd and 1. Great defense. David Reese, so impressive tonight. On 3rd and 1, not a chance. The senior from Farmington, Michigan. He's been outstanding in the middle for Florida.
And a decision now for Mark Stoops. Is he going to go for it on 4th and short? I think he's going to let this run down. Think about this decision at the end of the 3rd quarter.
4th and 1. At the Florida 39. Decision time when we come back to start the 4th. 4th quarter, the joint is jumping. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Molly McGrath, and Todd McShay.
And Mark Stoops, the head coach of Kentucky, is going for it here. I was a little surprised knowing that Florida has a backup quarterback who's going to take his first snap, but I love the aggressiveness here.
Great point, Todd. They've been coming off the ball. This offensive line put it in their hands.
It's Rose. I don't think he got there. Who else? But David Reese stepped up in the middle. What a ball game David Reese is having for Florida. And they turn it over on downs.
This Florida defense needed a captain, a leader to step up and make a play. David Reese made that play. They had to have it, and he's unblocked right here, and he's just going to knife through and get Rose on the ground.
Grease, David Reese has 15 tackles.
That was probably his easiest one of the night. I mean, nobody blocked him. Little miscommunication up front by Kentucky. I think Todd's point was a great one, right? With a brand new quarterback coming on the field, why not punt it down? Maybe you get it inside the 10 and force him to come drive the length of the field, and maybe you give this Stroud an opportunity to get into the game too.
So instead, this brand new quarterback will feel a little bit better about things and start with excellent field position.
Yep. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20, right? If you block Reese and you get the first down, you really take control. I'm not saying it was the wrong decision. I just think that
I also said I love the aggressiveness.
Yeah, right.
You can't play it both ways,
exactly. I'm owning it.
So the defense got the Gators offense the football back. We'll say hello to Kyle Trask, redshirt junior out of Manville, Texas. He's 4 of 5 on the season passing, 40 yards and 1 touchdown. See how they ease him into the game. Or take a shot. Quick out, get it to Van Jefferson. And a good gain of 8 on first down.
So you're going to see a big physical specimen here in Kyle Trask. 6'5", 240 pounds, and he can throw the football. There's no question about his talent and ability. He just doesn't have the seasoning and experience. And Dan Mullen, certainly one of the best coaching quarterbacks doing it. I'm sure he'll have him ready to play.
Got into 4 games a season ago before he injured his foot. Grease, you referenced that earlier. 2nd down and 2. Throwing and completing sideline to Josh Hammond. That's some good zip on the football.
And a great route by Josh Hammond. That was not the design route. He was running downfield on a go route, saw his quarterback was in trouble, cut off the route, and got friendly on the sideline, tippy toe. That's really well done.
14 yards on the play. Hammond's first grab of the night.
The strength of the Florida offense are the receivers, so Trask get the ball in their hands.
They always have playmakers. That's Pirine in motion. Good protection for Trask. And a wide open Van Jefferson with some running room. And a stiff arm has him out of bounds at the 20. After a gain of 20, here come the Gators.
Boy, if I'm Brad White, I'm not just going to sit back and let Kyle Trask get comfortable, right? Come after him, bring some pressure, make him read defense, muddy the picture, because right now, Trask looks like he's been playing the whole game and comfortable.
Inexperienced secondary for Kentucky, and they're down. Yusuf Corker, their sophomore free safety, was ejected in the first half for targeting. See if Trask can take advantage of that. Another quick throw to Van Jefferson on the money. Down to the 6. Gain of 13, Todd.
I don't know about you, Brian, but as a quarterback, just watching him come in after sitting and being cold all night long, and to watch how comfortable he is in the pocket and the rhythm that he's in this early playing, it's so impressive to me.
Agent had the interception earlier in the game. Let's see if Florida can take advantage. Trask throws it up for grabs. And Lucas Krull unable to run underneath it. Cash Daniel forced Trask into that throw.
Yeah, and great coverage by DeAndre Square. This is a staple in Dan Mullen's offense. It's the throwback, hard roll to one side, throwback to the tight end. But DeAndre Square was not fooled. He has made a number of really good, smart plays tonight, especially in pass coverage.
That is Trask's first incompletion. In relief of Feleipe Franks, who we fear the season is over. 2nd down and goal. From the 8. Trask trying to keep it, then pitches back to Pirine in for the touchdown. DeAndre Square put the hit on Trask. And the very intelligent pitch to Pirine for the score, and don't go anywhere.
What a great play design by Dan Mullen. Brad White, defensive coordinator. I guarantee you they did not work the option against this Florida Gator team. And there he is. DeAndre Square makes a good play. If he doesn't tackle the quarterback, he'll walk in. But there were 2 options on 1 defender.
5-point game, going for 2, the Gators. What do you think, Grease? How many 2-point conversion plays do the team have? 3 or 4?
I don't like this. I kick the extra point. All right, it's too early. It's a lot of time left in this game.
And how many reps would the backup quarterback get on the 2-point conversion?
0.
Exactly. Well, let's see. Trask looking right, throwing, it's deflected and nearly intercepted. Boogie Watson got fingertips on it, and that'll keep it a 5-point game.
Boy, that decision by Dan Mullen there. Boogie Watson should have intercepted that ball, and there was nobody between Boogie Watson and 2 points for the Wildcats going the other direction. Trask was very lucky that this ball wasn't picked off. I just don't like going for 2 with that much time left in the game. Right? It's hard to throw the ball inside the 5-yard line, number one. But take the points, get the extra point.
Well, everybody says wait till the fourth quarter, but it's only 2.5 minutes into that fourth quarter. Let's go down to Molly for a sideline report.
Well, Steve, Florida's sideline was very emotional after Feleipe Franks' injury. A couple of offensive players got into a verbal altercation and had to be separated, and it was backup quarterback Kyle Trask who pulled them apart. So it looks like he's keeping his cool, and it's paid off, Steve.
5-point game, 12:40 left. And Lyndon Bowden will let it bounce into the end zone. With a 5-point lead, looking to take something off that clock, too. Here's Smoke. Stopped by Kyrie Campbell. A gain of 3 on the play. Schlarman, who told us every time he steps into the building, the office, the stadium, it is a relief from his reality.
Yeah.
Which is something he doesn't want to do. Guy hasn't missed a practice, hasn't missed a game. He is on top of things.
Well, this is his time, right? This is his game. He is on center stage right now. You're up 5. You're almost at your 4-minute mark. You got to start burning some clock, run the football, and lean on that offensive line.
Here's the pressure. Smith will take a shot. Air ball. And it is intercepted. Sean Davis. There was nobody home for Kentucky. Maybe Bowden was in the vicinity. And flags fly now. Let's see. See the Florida celebration.
The second interception for Sean Davis. And you're right, there was a miscommunication. Smith was throwing that ball for Bowden down the field for Bowden, and he stopped running, and there was nobody left other than Davis.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 31, Florida, his first of the game, 15-yard penalty, first down Florida.
So Davis has the interception and then draws the flag for unsportsmanlike conduct, and he's hearing about it from Coach Mullen.
Sawyer Smith throws this ball up. Watch, Bowden's going to be running down the field, and he just stops. Look at him right here. He just stops, and the ball ends up down here. Smith was depending on him to be there at least for a jump ball situation. They were not on the same page, and a huge turnover for Florida.
What a game this has been. This has had a lot of everything. 6 minutes left now. Kyle Trask down the sideline, tipped and knocked away, and the flag come in. 2 flags come in now. Quadri Mosley has checked in. Again, they are shorthanded among their defensive backs for Kentucky. And I believe he'll be flagged.
That one's on Trey Dean, number 21, the nickelback, I think, Steve. He was running in man-to-man. There he is, number 21, and it's a good call.
Pass interference, defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
It's interesting. Kentucky and Brad Smith decided to play some man-to-man. I was hoping that they would do that, right? Can't just sit back, and as soon as they go man-to-man, you got great coverage. You're in phase with the receiver. There's no reason to grab the arm, turn around, and catch that football from Trey Dean.
First down and 10. Approaching midfield. Trask looks cool and calm. Put some air underneath that. Overthrew his intended target. That could have been intercepted. Van Jefferson didn't have a chance there.
Yeah, a little indecision there from Trask. I think he was just trying to throw that football away.
Trask steps up, but not away from the pressure, and he'll take a big shot, and a flag comes in. Jordan Wright got there first, and then T.J. Carter with the helmet.
Personal foul, targeting, defense. The previous plays on the third review.
We've already had 2 players ejected tonight for targeting. And Carter's like, me? Are they talking about me? He can't believe it.
It's a great play by Jordan Wright, and Carter's just coming in there. He's not thinking like a safety, right? These are defensive linemen, and they're in there hitting each other in the head on every single snap. And so I'm not surprised that Carter is thinking, well, what did I do wrong?
And there goes 90.
What an opportunity for Florida now. I mean, the ball's at the 41-yard line and plenty of time.
9 penalties against Kentucky. Accepted. 5.5 to go. 5-point game on a wild night in Lexington. Found a little seam to Kyle Pitts. Trying to rip off his jersey. He's down to the 5. Agent did the best he could with a fistful of jersey. But Pitts would not go down until he had 31 yards.
Another big-time throw from Kyle Trask. Watch him in the pocket. It's not going to be clean. Let this roll, guys. He's throwing from a foxhole.
Florida going fast here. 1st and goal from the 6. Pirine inside the 5. Taking people on. Cash Daniel there along with Jamari Brown.
You got to take your time here.
2nd and goal.
If you're Trask, right? You don't have to rush anything. Take your time. And Dan Mullen can help him from the sideline. I don't think they need to go fast.
4.5 left in the 4th quarter. Both teams have their 3 timeouts. Trask gonna keep it, and the lane opened up wide for him. Untouched, Kyle Trask into the game and into the end zone, and Florida takes the lead.
Can't say enough about the backup quarterbacks in this game. Sawyer Smith knew he was going to be called on in this game. Kyle Trask did not. But when the game has been on the line in the tightest situations, he has been up to the task, and now he's going to have one more opportunity here as they go for 2 to make this a 3-point game.
Nearly had a pick 6 or a pick 2 returned on the last 2-point attempt. Here Trask wants to keep it. Will not find the open lane this time. Cash Daniel said we're not falling for that. And so the Wildcats will get the football down 1 with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left.
Don't go anywhere yet.
On a night of backup quarterbacks, on opening night in the SEC, for the Wildcats and the Gators. Fantastic finish is on the way. Give me more of this. Instead of just 1. Here's Sawyer Smith, who got off to such a hot start. Short gain 6 yards to Justin Rigg. For what it's worth, ever since Feleipe Franks left the game, Florida has outscored Kentucky 12-0. Gators seem galvanized by the loss, the injury to their leader, and have really picked it up since then, aided by the outstanding play of Kyle Trask in relief for Franks.
Give him credit. He's played really well.
Smoke trying to break some tackles into the secondary. 1st down yardage. Pretty much as advertised there. Here's Smith. Too high for Lynn Bowden. The accuracy that was there in the 1st half is not there in the 2nd half, and you wonder if that has something to do with his wrist.
I think if he had that issue with the wrist, you see Bowden right there saying that's on me. Sometimes when a quarterback misses, we always blame the quarterback, but it's 2 people in that scenario, and Bowden looked like he cut that route off short.
Makes sense. He would be sensitive to that. Grease, understood, noted. There's a flag down. Like one of the Gators jumped. Wagner, and some more flags come in. Ahmad Wagner, who is nicknamed Ahmad Flagner because he always draws pass interference calls. He's drawn 8 pass interference calls when he's been targeted 14 times. 8 out of 14. That's coming into tonight. Even on his touchdown grab,
2 fouls on the
would
play,
have been a
both on
PI
the
flag.
defense. Offside, number 88. The penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense, number 3 is accepted. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's on Marco Wilson.
Yeah, Dan Mullen saying, listen, this guy's 6'5", 235 pounds, and my guy's 6 feet, 190. What do you want him to do? Like, he's running in phase with him. Marco Wilson, you don't need to have your hands all over a guy. To me, leave the laundry in the pocket there. That's not a foul.
The officials have played a big role in tonight's game. On the ground, Smoke won't get back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1. Grenard, the stop for Florida as we tick under 3 minutes left. Kentucky trailing by 1. They have all 3 timeouts. That's Chance Poore, the redshirt freshman kicker. Speaking of Clemson, he's from Anderson, South Carolina. Got a career long of 46. And it hasn't been much of a career. Again, a redshirt freshman. Small sample size. 2nd and 11.
Well, the last thing that Sawyer Smith wants to do is have the redshirt freshman have to come out and kick a game-winning field goal. He wants to put this ball in the end zone.
Blitz comes late. Back shoulder throw. Bowden has the catch.
Bowden went out of bounds.
The hat's off. You see the official, the hat's off.
He went out of bounds. He was pushed out by the defender.
But they've discussed it, Grease, and I think it's going to stand now.
Absolutely. It should stand. That's a good catch. He was pushed out by the defender, got back in, established himself, caught the ball with his body in bounds. That's a heck of a play by Bowden.
Right, the hat coming off just signifies a player stepped out of bounds. Doesn't mean you can't come back in and reestablish. 2 minutes left here in the 4th. On the ground, Smoke time to the 21.
This is where you got to get in the tell your quarterback, Sawyer Smith, that he needs to use the clock, right? Don't snap the ball until you absolutely have to.
So the ball at the 22. So you're thinking about a 39-yard attempt from here.
First things first, Florida needs to stop this Kentucky offense from getting more first downs and getting in the end zone.
20 seconds left on the play clock.
I don't understand why Dan Mullen is allowing this to happen.
Florida's got all 3 timeouts. Smith will hand it off to Smoke. To the 18, gain of 4.
And now Dan Mullen's going to call his timeout. But he could have gotten the ball at a minute and a half.
So they did add those seconds back on. 62 ticks left here in the 4th. 3rd down and 2. 3rd down has been Kentucky's friend all night. 8 of 12 in conversions for 3rd down. On the ground, there's Smoke. Won't get the necessary yardage. Needed 2, got 1. 4th down, and Mullen runs on the field for another timeout to preserve every second. 56 ticks remaining.
This ball is in a good position for him. It's not all the way out on the hash. It's about 3 yards inside the hash, which makes it an easier angle for this field goal. Snap, hold, kick.
Blake,
3 guys involved.
Blake Best is a snapper. Grant McKinnis will hold it. 35-yard field goal attempt. Either way, there'll be 58 seconds left. Chance Poore for the Kentucky lead. On the way. No! No good! Missed it to the right. Couldn't sneak it inside the upright. 54 seconds left. Florida will get the ball. Now Kentucky has all 3 timeouts remaining. As you said, they'll be able to stop it on defense.
Just got tight. He got a little tight, didn't let his legs swing free. He was trying to guide it in, Steve, rather than just hitting it and letting it go. He tried to guide it. You can see he short-stepped it. And Florida escapes.
And he has to hear about it from Marco Wilson and the rest of the Gators.
That's why I said when you started this drive, if I'm Mark Stoops, you know, a redshirt freshman kicker, I'm not putting the game in that guy's hands, right? Like, I am going to do everything I can to get that ball in the end zone.
Kentucky will look to run out the rest of this clock. I mean, rather, Kentucky will try to stop the clock with the 3 timeouts. Here's Piron. They want to get him down to the ground as soon as possible. And there's one of them.
They have a chance to win this game because the kicker missed it by 2 feet. I mean, that's the ball game.
35-yard attempt. 48 seconds left. Kentucky still can stop the clock 2 more times. Piron right into the pile. Cash Daniel to stop. Another tackle for Daniel. Another timeout. So it'll be 3rd down with 44 seconds left. 3rd and 6. Kentucky just trying to get the football back. Give it to the first man through. Josh Hammond, sideline, and running away from people. Josh Hammond will not be denied. 76 yards for the touchdown. There are no flags. What a stunning comeback here by Florida tonight. Wow.
They're just trying to run out the clock, Dan Mullen is, and they run the end around. And they get a crease, and Hammond, one of the fastest players on this Florida team, puts the nail in the coffin.
.33 ticks left.
And an interesting extra point, Steve.
It's funny you mentioned that. McPherson will come on. Boots it through, as you might expect, and Florida enjoying an 8-point lead. 33 seconds still remaining.
You got to close, right? You got to close, and Kentucky had their chance to go down the field and put it in the end zone and finish this ball game. Florida in a very similar situation, just trying to run out the clock. They don't leave it to any kicker. They give it to Josh Hammond, and Hammond goes long distance for the touchdown.
Hey, listen, if you're going to give up the first down, though, you wanted to give up the touchdown because now it's still an 8-point game. I know you only have 1 timeout, 33 seconds.
Since Feleipe Franks went out, Florida has outscored Kentucky 19-0. And again, the Gators had 2 missed 2-point conversions in the game. Here we go. Sawyer Smith, what do you got? Behind his intended target. Only a couple seconds tick away with the incompletion.
And if you're Florida, you got to get some pressure on the quarterback. That's the hallmark of this team, right? At least they were coming into this game. They haven't been able to get consistent pressure, but they're only going to rush 3, but you know you're going to find a single matchup somewhere. You can't let them sit back there too long.
Smith steps up at 5. I think his arm was hit as he throws. It's a jump ball. And no one comes up with it. Bowden Davis in a battle. 22 seconds left, 3rd down.
Really need to attack the middle of the field. Florida has 2 guys, a safety and a corner, playing 2 deep coverage on the outside of the field. That leaves the middle of the field open. Sawyer Smith needs to attack there. All this space here in the middle of the field.
Smith getting out of there underneath. A short little gain for Bowden. And so it'll be 4th down now. It's a gain of 6. Down to 17 seconds. Yeah, clock stops on a first down. You do have the one timeout, so you can still use the middle of the field.
So Mark Stoops yelling at Sawyer saying, hey, make sure you get the first here. Give yourself a fresh set of downs. You're ready to get up and clock it.
4th and 4. Smith in the middle. Justin Rigg. First down.
Or use a timeout. Yep.
Another timeout.
Give yourself a chance, an opportunity to attack the end zone on a couple of shots.
There's Sawyer Smith. Throws. Knocked away, incomplete. 6 seconds remaining. It'll be second down. Trey Dean got a hand on it.
Now you're in a situation here where I don't think that Sawyer Smith can throw the ball to the end zone. So because you didn't complete that ball, now you're going to have to do with hook and lateral, something like that, because you just don't have enough arm strength.
It's been a crazy night.
Although I said that, you know, when I was back at Michigan playing against CU and a guy named Cordell Stewart threw it 75 yards in the air. I thought the game was over.
Sawyer Smith is said to have a strong arm. And haven't seen a lot of Troy tape from him. 3 to snap it, and here we go. Sawyer Smith underneath. And actually there's 1 second left. Now there are zeros on the clock. I think they're going to put 1 second back. Jeremiah Moon able to bat it away.
They were trying to throw that ball, and they were going to hook and lateral back to Bowden, and Moon just got underneath it.
The ACC came out today and apologized last night for ending that game too early. There should have been a second put back on the clock last night in the North Carolina-Wake Forest game. Sawyer Smith will have a lane to step into and lofts one, and it will be intercepted. And that will do it. Kaiir Elam on the pick. Zeros on the clock. Inexplicably, Florida outscores Kentucky 19-0 since Feleipe Franks left the game with an injury. And we fear that Frank's season could be over. Down to Molly McGrath.
Thank you, Steve. Coach, this night was full of adversity. A fourth quarter deficit. You guys were down. You lost one of your team leaders in Feleipe Franks. What did you learn about your team in this one?
Well, you know, I mean, we talked at halftime. Things weren't always going our way. We weren't getting off the field on third down on defense. We made some mistakes, you know, some critical penalties on offense. But I don't have to. We got to believe we're going to win this game. The difference between this year and last year, I'm looking at the scoreboard. It's the exact same situation. Exact same situation last year. We believe we're going to win the game, though, I think, this year. And we found a way to make plays to win it there at the end. Offensively, defensively, everybody found a way to make a play to win the game there at the end.
Your backup to your right here, Kyle Trask, came in for Feleipe Franks.
Yeah.
It was emotional for your team. What kind of composure did you see from your backup quarterback?
Well, what we expect from them. You know what I mean? Everyone gets on you. Who's this? Who's that backup? You know, our job is to develop 3 starters. I think we have 3 starting quarterbacks in our room. Guys that work and prepare so they're ready to go. Kyle's waiting for his moment. We expect him. The team believes him. We think he's a starter just like Feleipe is. Came in here and showed, and he played that way. And I know the team, there was never a doubt when he came in that he could do the job. And he did. And a heck of a job by him. Really proud of him. I'm happy for him. You don't see this much, huh?
No, you definitely don't.
It's a tragedy in college football. You don't see guys like him grow, learn, develop, believe in their school. He's a graduate. See everybody transferring here, there, transfer there. Believe in what you do. Your opportunity comes. Take advantage of it. You grow, you learn. And now everybody got to see what type of quarterback we knew he was the whole time.
All right, thank you, Coach. Congratulations on the win.
Florida would have you believe that order has been restored in this rivalry. Florida defeats Kentucky 29-21. For producer Josh Hoffman, director Mike Schwab, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay, Molly McGrath. Fortunately, there are no more names to say except mine, Steve Levy. That's it for now. Jason Benetti and Rod Gilmore take it away in Tucson.